9 must-know cruise tips to survive a long cruise in an interior cabin. An interior cabin sounds like a bargain until day 5, when it feels less like a vacation and more like you're living in a windowless shoebox at sea. No sunlight, no fresh air, just 4 walls closing in. But here's the good news. Seasoned cruisers have figured out how to beat the cabin blues and actually enjoy long cruises in the cheapest rooms on the ship. From hacks that make your cabin feel twice as big, to tricks that keep it fresh, quiet, and even trick your brain into thinking you've got a balcony. These tips will change the way you survive an inside cabin. Stick around, because once you know these 9 must-know tricks, you'll never look at an interior cabin the same way again. Tip number 1. Bring a soft night light or motion sensor light. Interior cabins don't just get dark, they get pitch black. We're talking, can't see your own hand in front of your face, dark. That's great for sleeping, but the second you wake up in the middle of the night? Total nightmare. Former cruisers swear by packing a cheap night light or a little motion sensor light you can stick to the wall. It gives you just enough glow to find the bathroom without blinding your cabin mate or fumbling for your phone flashlight. It's such a simple hack, but it instantly makes those midnight wake-ups less disorienting. And trust me, on a 2-week cruise, that comfort adds up. Tip number 2. Ask for extra hangers and use vertical space. One of the fastest ways to make an interior cabin feel claustrophobic is clutter. Piles of clothes on the chair, shirts draped over the bed, and a suitcase you keep digging through every morning. On a short trip, maybe you can get away with it, but on a long cruise, that chaos makes the cabin feel smaller by the day. Here's the insider trick. Unpack everything on day 1, and don't be shy about asking your cabin steward for more hangers. They always have extras, and it instantly doubles your closet space. Hanging your clothes properly gets them out of the way, keeps them wrinkle-free, and gives you a real sense of order. And here's the part most passengers overlook. Use all the vertical space you're given. Shelves, closet doors, even the bathroom hooks are prime real estate. Think of it like moving into a tiny apartment. The more you get off the floor, the bigger and calmer the space feels. When you open your cabin door after a long day and see a neat, organized room instead of a laundry explosion, you'll thank yourself. On a 2-week cruise, that little bit of order makes your cabin feel far more livable. Tip number 3. Use magnetic hooks or clips on the walls. Here's something most first-time cruisers don't realize. Your cabin walls aren't just walls, they're metal. That means, with a handful of strong magnetic hooks or clips, you've suddenly got an entire storage system. Hang backpacks, hats, jackets, or even tomorrow's outfit right on the wall instead of piling it on the bed or chair. Use clips to hold excursion tickets, daily schedules, or notes for your cabin mate. Some cruisers even create a command center on the wall with magnets, keeping the tiny cabin organized like a mini office. It's one of those hacks that seems small, but on a long cruise, it's a game changer. The more you get off the floor and surfaces, the less your room feels like it's closing in. And the best part? When it's time to pack up at the end of the cruise, all those little things are right where you left them, not hiding under the bed or lost in a corner. Tip number 4. Store luggage under the bed and hide clutter early. As we mentioned earlier, the fastest way to make a tiny cabin feel overwhelming is clutter. You've already got your clothes hanging up and using that vertical space, but what about the suitcases themselves? Leaving them open on the floor is the quickest way to trip over your own stuff. Here's the insider move. Once you unpack, slide those bags right under the bed. Almost every cruise ship bed is built with space underneath specifically for luggage storage. Even the big hard-shell cases usually fit without a problem. It's not a flashy hack, but it's a powerful one. The minute those bulky suitcases are out of sight, your cabin suddenly feels open and breathable. And on a long cruise, that little bit of extra space makes all the difference in keeping your sanity. So, don't just unpack. Finish the job. Get the bags out of your way, and you'll instantly feel like your cabin doubled in size. Tip number 5. Use the cabin TV as a virtual balcony. One of the hardest parts of an interior cabin isn't the size, it's the lack of light. No windows, no sunrise, no sense of whether it's morning or midnight. That's where the ship's TV becomes your best friend. Most cruise lines have a channel that streams a live view from the bridge or the bow. Some newer ships even offer virtual balcony screens, complete with real-time ocean views and wave sounds. It might sound silly, but tricking your brain into thinking you've got a view outside helps fight that boxed-in feeling. On a long cruise, this little habit makes a big difference. Switch on the TV in the morning while you're getting ready, and suddenly you're connected with the outside world again. Even better, it helps you keep track of time, something that can disappear fast in a room with no sunlight. So don't ignore that boring bridge cam channel. Use it to bring the sea into your room. Your mood will thank you. Tip number 6. Keep the air fresh and avoid smelly foods. Here's something nobody tells you before you book an interior cabin. Smells don't go anywhere. With no windows and no breeze, whatever scent you bring in stays in. That late-night slice of garlic pizza, you'll smell it in the morning. A tuna sandwich from the buffet? That odor lingers longer than you'd like. And after a few days, even damp towels can start to give your cabin a musty vibe. The fix is simple. Pack a small air freshener or travel-sized deodorizer. It keeps the space from getting stale and makes the room feel a whole lot more pleasant. And just as important, be smart about what food you bring back. Save the strong-smelling stuff for the buffet or the pool deck. When you're living in a sealed box for 10 days or more, a fresh-smelling cabin isn't just about comfort, it's about sanity. And if you've made it this far, type cruise for you in the comments so I know you're one of the smart cruisers who stick around. And before we move on, don't forget to like and subscribe. It really helps the channel grow and keeps these tips coming your way. Tip number 7. Use spa, outdoor decks, and public spaces often. Even with all the tricks we've covered so far, an interior cabin is still 4 walls and no sunlight. The best way to survive it on a long cruise? Don't stay locked inside. Make the rest of the ship your living space. Spend an afternoon in the spa's relaxation area. Grab a quiet corner in the library or slip into an overlooked lounge where you can stretch out without a crowd. And don't underestimate the power of fresh air. Just 20 minutes on an outdoor deck can reset your brain in ways artificial lighting never will. On a long sailing, this isn't just a comfort move, it's a survival tactic. The more time you spend exploring public areas, the less you'll even notice you don't have a balcony view. Think of your interior cabin as a bedroom, not your whole vacation. For everything else, dining, relaxing, recharging, the ship itself is packed with options that make up for the lack of a window. Tip number 8. Noise control. Earplugs or white noise. Interior cabins have one big drawback most first-timers don't think about: noise. With no balcony buffer, you're often closer to hallways, service doors, and neighbors. That means late-night laughter in the corridor, doors slamming at midnight, or even the sound of your neighbor's TV bleeding through the wall. The fix? Pack earplugs or use a white noise app on your phone. Even a simple ocean waves track does wonders for masking the random bangs and chatter. Some cruisers even bring a small portable white noise machine. It's the kind of thing you don't appreciate until the cabin next door decides to have a party at 1 a.m. On a long cruise, good sleep isn't optional. It's what keeps you sane and energized for the next day. With earplugs or white noise in your toolkit, you'll drift off peacefully while everyone else is still wide awake. Tip number 9. Ask the steward to remove or rearrange furniture. Here's a tip most people don't even think about. You don't have to live with your cabin exactly as it is. If that extra chair is just taking up space or a little table is constantly in your way, ask your cabin steward to remove it. They'll almost always do it, no questions asked. On a long cruise, every inch of space counts. Getting rid of one bulky piece of furniture can make your cabin feel noticeably larger and easier to move around in. Some passengers even ask stewards to rearrange things a bit to make the room flow better. And it can completely change how comfortable the cabin feels. Remember, the crew wants you to enjoy your cruise. If something in your cabin isn't working for you, speak up. One small change might be the difference between feeling cramped for 2 weeks and actually enjoying your home at sea. And those are 9 must-know tips that make surviving a long cruise in an interior cabin not just doable, but comfortable. With the right hacks, even the smallest cabin can feel like your own little hideaway at sea. But if you really want to know what's going on behind the scenes of your cruise, don't miss this next video. Ex-cruise workers expose 11 new secrets that passengers aren't supposed to know. Click here to watch it now and find out what the cruise lines never want passengers to hear. Thanks for watching, and as always, happy cruising!